Welcome back to News You Missed. Let's catch up on everything you missed while the internet was buffering.
Good morning, everybody. Bringing you the biggest stories from every corner of the planet. The ones that broke while your Wi-Fi did. The financial moves that made most traders sweat. The conspiracies that broke the internet. The hacks that broke your password. And the robots that are probably writing this script already. From Washington to Warsaw, Wall Street to Wi-Fi outages, we've got it covered with context, comedy and a touch of caffeine. Well, a lot of caffeine, really. So buckle up, it's October the 21st, 2025. The world's on fire, the internet's down, and somehow Bitcoin's still up. Let's get into the news you missed. Tariff tantrum tour. President Trump's gone global with the tariff hammer. He's warning India to stop buying Russian oil or face massive tariffs. Telling China it'll get hit with 155% tariffs if no deal by November. And somehow still signing an $8.5 billion deal, critical minerals pact with Australia to cut out Beijing. It's like speed dating but for economic partners. Swipe right on minerals, swipe left on Moscow. Drew, what's your first story of the day?
First up, half the planet went offline after Amazon Web Services threw a tantrum. Snapchat, Zoom, Roblox, Fortnite, Canva, Coinbase, Slack all down. Even banks stopped working and millions experienced what experts call real life. AWS blamed a DNS glitch. Basically, the internet's phone book forgot everyone's number. Everything's back online, but trust isn't. If one company's hiccup can shut down civilization, maybe it's time to print a few photos again.
Here you go, Drew. I did some research yesterday on this. I'm going to provide some insight here. Do you know what really broke it? A dodgy update over the weekend. Can you believe that? And it brought everything down. And wait for it, it gets even worse here. Do you want to know why banks, HMRC and everything went down in the UK? Because the default option on where you pick to host it is server 1. And they never picked a server in the UK. So all our data has been stored in America. Talk about quite possibly a massive data breach, storing all our data in the US. My first story of the day. Europe has cut the cord. The European Union formally approved a plan to end Russian gas imports by 2027. Brussels calls it energy independence. Hungary calls it a heating crisis. The outlook, tough winters ahead, but a long-term win for self-reliance. If Europe survives this winter, they'll deserve a collective Nobel in endurance.
Moving on, the US government shutdown rolls on, but White House advisor Kevin Hassett says it might end this week. Meanwhile, Jerome Powell and the Federal Reserve are flying blind. No official data, no guidance, just vibes and spreadsheets. Markets are jittery. Caffeine sales are steady. America's most powerful bank is now powered by Excel and existential dread.
My next story, the US Operation Riverwall. The Department of Homeland Security launched Operation Riverwall to fortify the Rio Grande and hit back at cartels. Colombia's recalled its ambassador as well. It's yanked its US ambassador after Trump said he's ending aid to the nation. There's been a chill in diplomacy, heat in the headlines. America first means you're on your own in Spanish now.
Reports say Russia's Sergei Lavrov and US Senator Marco Rubio discussed a potential Putin-Trump meeting in Budapest. Zelensky says he'll attend if invited. Nothing confirmed, but plenty of conspiracy podcasts ready. If this happens, Netflix better stream it live.
Well, Drew, it's an interesting one because Trump and Putin are now talking about making a tunnel between the two countries. So, yeah, Zelensky is out in the cold. I think he's going to be called in when he just needs to sign on the dotted line. And my next story, Drew, Trump has told reporters, I'm not a king, I work my arse off. Well, by the sounds of it, Drew, we're going to be expecting merchandise saying, work hard, like Trump. And let's just say, he's showing his humility with a side of branding.
I think you're onto something there, Paul.
Trump does love a good slogan, doesn't he?
Absolutely. And moving on, NASA's reopening bids for lunar landings after SpaceX delays. More bidders, more bureaucracy. If paperwork were rocket fuel, we'd already be on Mars.
We're now heading into our little segment called Financial Funnies, where quite frankly, talking about economies is boring as hell, and we want to put a bit of a funny spin on it just to keep you entertained and keep you listening.
Starting in Iraq, the Central Bank of Iraq held another big remittance auction to narrow its black market exchange gap. It's part of a push towards a single stable rate. Stability is possible if reforms and oil revenues hold. It's finally looking like economics, not mythology. And Iraq's economic reforms and regional diplomacy boosted non-oil FDI by 12%. Boring stability, the good kind. The calmest thing in the Middle East right now is the dinar.
Buenos Aires scored a $20 billion currency swap deal with the US Treasury. It keeps dollars flowing and inflation from sprinting off a cliff. A temporary patch on a leaky boat. Washington sends cash. Argentina sends gratitude and maybe some steak.
And flying to Vietnam's Communist Party announced plans for 10% annual GDP growth between 2026 and 2030. They're betting on exports, tech and supply chain migration from China. Bold but believable, unless tariffs interfere. Vietnam's quietly becoming Asia's honour student.
The Bank of Canada is expected to cut interest rates this week as inflation slows and unemployment rises. It's a little relief for borrowers, maybe too much for housing. Only Canada can make a financial crisis sound polite.
And moving to Zimbabwe, the IMF praised Zimbabwe's fiscal reforms but won't lend until $12 billion in arrears are cleared. Growth could hit 6% next year. Inflation's finally cooling. The math's improving, the cash isn't. Zimbabwe's done its homework, the IMF still grading on a curve. And FYI, no RV this week.
China may pay a 155% tariff if no deal by November the 1st, then accepted Xi Jinping's invitation to visit in 2026. It seems to be tariffs now, tea later. It's like threatening someone with dinner plans.
And my next story, Bitcoin's holding near $118,000, Ethereum's resting with 3,900 resistance, and XRP's up 120% since April. Trump-linked meme coins have created $5 billion in value, providing satire now has a ticker symbol. Even Congress got FOMO. Republicans want their own crypto CEO meeting after the Democrats' session. Bipartisanship powered by blockchain.
Drew, we've got a rare earth romance going on out there in the world. The US and Australia deal channels $8.5 billion into rare earth mining and refining. It means better Western supply chains, fewer Chinese smiles, and finally, a love story built on lithium and mutual distrust.
And my last financial funny story, Bitcoin's ETFs did $2 billion in trading in 2 hours. Traders call it innovation. Regulators called it indigestion.
And we've also got a repo rodeo going on out there. The New York Fed injected $8.35 billion into banks through repo operations. Translation, the Wall Street's broke again, but politely. They used mortgage-backed securities instead of treasuries, which last time ended badly. History doesn't repeat, it just reuses templates. And the market mood after all of this. The markets are nervous, gold bugs are euphoric, and Fed is guessing. And our advice after this, which I say don't take seriously, diversify and maybe keep snacks. They inflate slower than rent. Now we are heading over to a new segment we are slipping in. It's called Conspiracy Corner, where facts take a coffee break.
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Well, first up, online prophets say the global currency reset is days away. Reality check, Project Yorktown is not a magic debt eraser. If your get-rich plan involves historic bonds, step away from the YouTube comments.
Rumours are that AI runs the Fed. Rumours claim Powell handed rate decisions to artificial intelligence. No, but we trust ChatGPT's tone over most press releases.
An influencer, Goldilocks, says Iraq's auctions prove a revaluation is coming.
Trump and Melania's meme coin's worth $5 billion. If you can't buy groceries with it, it's not wealth, it's art.
And fringe theorists claim aliens made Bitcoin. Given its volatility, they're probably left after reading Reddit. Conspiracies are the fairy tales of finance, myths with better graphics. If it promises instant wealth, it belongs right here.
And heading over to Hackers Corner, code, chaos and cybercrime. 131 fake Chrome extensions turned WhatsApp web into spam bots. Major breaches, F5 network, Cisco rootkit and pick snapping, 2FA theft.
And Europol busted a SIM farm for hire service with 49 million fake accounts. And China accused the NSA of hacking its national time servers, and new malware ClickFix infects victims who literally copy its codes themselves. The cyber bar's never been lower. 2025, where turning it off and on again just makes it worse.
Now heading over to Robots Corner, the future is getting hands. Unitree H2. China's Unitree unveiled the H2 humanoid, 6 foot tall with 31 joints and a bionic face. It dances, it fights and smiles. The uncanny trifecta. This is showing us that robots are becoming more and more humanoid. They are being able to do more and more. So jobs may be on the line, but don't worry yet. At the moment, a robot still can't make great jokes like me and Drew can.
An Honor teased a robot phone with a gimbal-mounted camera arm. It moves on its own, calls itself an emotional companion, and probably judges your selfies.
Caltech built a walking robot that launches a flying drone mid-stride. Land, air, wheels, all in one bot. Rescue missions just got cinematic.
And in Texas, 550 robotic telescopes photograph the universe automatically. Amateurs rent time online. Astronomy just became a subscription service. Robots aren't coming for your job yet, just your hobbies. They walk, talk, take selfies and stargaze. At this rate, they'll be hosting this show by next year. And FYI, I am not AI.
And that's your world for October the 21st, 2025. The cloud crashed, the banks blinked, robots danced, hackers clicked, and the Fed prayed to excel. Stay curious, stay skeptical, and remember in 2025, truth travels at Wi-Fi speed and satire keeps up. All that's left for me to say is to take care, God bless, and see you all soon. Bye now.
Bye-bye.